The Fortune file, documents, court filings, internal memos, receipts. We follow the money. Somewhere right now, an elderly woman in Ohio is entering her bank account number into a website she found through a Facebook ad. The ad featured the President of the United States, his voice, his face, his rose garden, a speech he gave on April 2nd about tariffs. Real footage, real location, but the words? AI generated, layered over the real video, promising her $5,000 in government relief. None of it was real. The website was a trap. The money gone. But the ad? Very real. It ran on Facebook. Meta approved it. Meta served it to women and men over 65 in more than 20 states. Meta collected the revenue. When investigators traced it, the advertiser had already been banned. The money already moved. Meta's quarterly earnings? Up. This is the Fortune file. Tonight, the deepfake economy. 2010, Facebook rolls out tag suggestions. The pitch: convenient, smart, friendly. What they didn't tell you: every scan, every match, every silent recognition, Facebook was building a biometric database of your facial geometry. Without asking, without consent, without a checkbox, just collecting. In Illinois, that's a crime. The Biometric Information Privacy Act, BIPA, passed in 2008, requires written consent before harvesting your biological identifiers. Facebook knew about BIPA. They operated in Illinois anyway. In 2015, a class action lawsuit hit Facebook in federal court. Facebook fought it for 5 years. In 2020, they settled for $650 million, the largest consumer privacy settlement in U.S. history at the time. Then in 2023, Instagram settled a separate BIPA class action for $68.5 million. And then, July 30th, 2024, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced $1.4 billion, the single largest biometric privacy settlement ever obtained by a single state attorney general in American history. The charge: Meta's Deepfake AI had scanned billions of photos in Texas without consent. And here is the detail that matters most. The settlement does not require Meta to destroy any models trained on that data. The database trained on your face still exists. A detailed biometric profile of your face, your bone structure, the distance between your eyes, the geometry of your jawline, is the raw material for a deepfake. In October 2025, the Tech Transparency Project published an investigation using Meta's own public ad library. They identified 63 distinct scam advertisers running deepfake political ads on Facebook and Instagram. Together, those 63 actors had spent at least $49 million on Meta advertising, running over 150,000 individual ad variations. The deepfakes featured Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Real faces. AI-cloned voices. Fabricated speeches promoting fake government money, $5,000 relief checks, Medicare payments, government spending cards. The targets: Americans over 65. One specific ad used real footage from Trump's April 2nd Rose Garden tariff speech. The words in the ad did not match the official transcript. AI audio had been layered over the real footage. The ad pointed to a data harvesting website. Meta ran it. Meta collected the revenue. Meta removed the account after it spent over $1 million. On October 16, 2025, U.S. Representatives Debbie Dingell and August Pfluger sent a formal letter to Mark Zuckerberg. Their exact words: "We write to express our deep concern that Meta is profiting from fraudulent political advertisements on Facebook that use AI-generated deepfakes to scam consumers. These ads are not just misleading, they are harmful." A formal congressional accusation. In writing to the CEO personally. Meta's response: a spokesperson said the company has policies against this content. The ads had already run. The damage already done. The revenue already booked. Now we get to the part that separates negligence from design. What Reuters found in November and December 2025 from internal Meta documents spanning 4 years proves they knew exactly. A December 2024 internal document showed Meta projected approximately $7 billion in annualized revenue from what it internally classified as high-risk scam ads. A broader estimate placed all violating revenue, scams, illegal gambling, banned products, counterfeit goods at approximately $16 billion in 2024. That is 10.1% of Meta's total annual revenue. Meta's internal goal was not to eliminate this revenue, but to reduce it from 10.1% to 7.3% by end of 2025, then to 6% by 2026, then 5.8% by 2027. That is not a zero-tolerance policy. That is a managed decline plan for billions in fraud revenue. A separate document showed Meta's platform served an estimated 15 billion high-risk scam advertisements per day, not per year. Per day. 15 billion. A February 2025 internal document specified how much revenue Meta was willing to forfeit to enforce against bad actors. The answer, 0.15% of total revenue. At Meta's 2024 revenue of $164.5 billion, that is $135 million. After that threshold, enforcement stopped. Internal documents noted that revenue from risky ads would almost certainly exceed the cost of any regulatory settlement. They calculated the fines. They calculated the fraud revenue. The fraud revenue won. Meta's own engineers wrote in an April 2025 internal review, "It is easier to advertise scams on Meta platforms than Google." Meta disputed the framing. They did not deny the document. 4 high-value accounts, Meta's biggest spenders. Internal documents show some accumulated over 500 policy strikes without being shut down. 500. And 4 scam campaigns removed by Meta in 2025 had been generating $67 million per month in advertising revenue. Per month. Meta's own internal analysts estimated that scam ads on their platforms generate $63 billion in annual consumer damage worldwide. Every year. And the same analysts calculated what it would cost to stop it. Universal advertiser verification, requiring all advertisers to prove identity before running ads, would cost $2 billion to implement. A one-time cost of $2 billion to prevent $63 billion in annual consumer damage. Meta declined, not because the math was unclear, because the math was very clear. Universal verification would reduce revenue by 4.8%. Almost $8 billion a year Meta would stop collecting from unverified advertisers. $8 billion in lost revenue versus $2 billion in implementation cost. That is the choice that was made. $63 billion in consumer damage every year as the price of that choice. Instead of verification, Meta built what its own documents called a general global playbook. It began in Japan. Regulators there were upset about fake investment scheme ads. Meta feared mandatory verification. So Meta identified the exact keywords Japanese regulators were searching and scrubbed those results from the public ad library. Regulators saw clean results. Users kept seeing scam ads in their feeds. A former Meta fraud investigator called it regulatory theater. Meta then deployed this playbook in the United States, European Union, India, Australia, Brazil, and Thailand. Internal documents show Meta calculated that potential EU and UK regulation, making the company directly liable for scam losses, could cost up to $9.3 billion. $9.3 billion. That's why the playbook exists. That's why the guardrail exists. That's why 500 strikes isn't enough to get you banned. Let's put the complete picture together. Meta built a facial recognition system that scanned billions of faces without consent and paid over $2.1 billion in biometric settlements, while keeping the AI models trained on that data. Meta's platforms became the preferred delivery system for deepfake fraud targeting elderly Americans. Meta's own documents show $7 billion in annual revenue from high-risk scam ads, $16 billion from all violating revenue, and 15 billion scam ad impressions per day. Meta's enforcement cap, $135 million maximum, to fight a $7 billion fraud machine. Meta's own engineers said it is easier to run scams on their platform than Google. Meta declined a $2 billion fix that would prevent $63 billion in annual consumer damage. Meta built a global playbook to hide scam ads from regulators while keeping them visible to users. And Meta calculated $9.3 billion in potential liability and chose the playbook over the fix. Members of Congress wrote to the CEO accusing Meta of profiting from deepfake fraud. Meta's response: "We have policies. The policies allowed 500 strikes before a ban. The policies allowed 15 billion scam ads a day. The policies allowed a global playbook to hide them from the people looking. Your face was never just your face on this platform. It was always a data point in someone else's revenue model. The Fortune file doesn't do outrage for clicks. We do documents, court filings, internal memos, congressional records, receipts. Everything you heard tonight is sourced in the description: Texas AG, Reuters, Tech Transparency Project, Congress, Meta's own internal documents. If this changed how you see your Facebook feed, hit subscribe. If someone you love uses Facebook, share this with them. If you're in Illinois or Texas and used Facebook before 2022, you may be entitled to settlement funds. Check the link in the description. The Fortune file. Follow the money. Read the documents. Trust nothing that hasn't been verified. We'll see you in the next file. The Fortune file. Follow the money.